The year was 2013. The Catholic Church, steeped in tradition and grappling with internal challenges, eagerly awaited the selection of a new leader.
Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum, habemus papam, eminentissimum ac reverentissimum Dominum Georgium Marium, Sancte Romani Ecclesiae Cardinalem Bergoglio, qui sibi nomen imposuit Franciscum.
Fratelli e sorelle, buonasera. Voi sapete che il dovere del conclave era di dare un vescovo a Roma. Sembra che i miei fratelli cardinali sono andati a prenderlo quasi alla fine del mondo.
White smoke billowed from the chimney atop the Sistine Chapel, signaling the election of a new pope. A hush fell over the crowd gathered in St. Peter's Square as the name echoed. Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio of Argentina, now Pope Francis. The announcement sent shockwaves across the globe. Never before had a Jesuit priest ascended to the papacy. Never before had the College of Cardinals chosen a leader from the Americas. This was a moment of profound historical significance, a testament to the shifting winds of change blowing through the Church. Francis, known for his humility and his commitment to the poor, immediately captivated the world's attention. His decision to adopt the name of Saint Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of the poor and the environment, spoke volumes about his priorities and the direction he intended to steer the Church. Newspapers around the globe splashed images of the new pope on their front pages. Commentators marveled at his simple demeanor, his warm smile, and his evident compassion. Pope Francis, it seemed, was a breath of fresh air, a beacon of hope in a world yearning for leadership grounded in humility and service. Jorge Mario Bergoglio's journey to the papacy was as improbable as it was inspiring. Born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, to Italian immigrant parents, he grew up in a working-class neighborhood, experiencing firsthand the struggles and aspirations of ordinary people. His early life was marked by a deep faith and a commitment to social justice. He initially pursued a career as a chemist but felt a calling to the priesthood, entering the Society of Jesus, also known as the Jesuits, a religious order renowned for its intellectual rigor and commitment to social justice. As a priest in Argentina, Father Bergoglio immersed himself in the lives of the poor, working tirelessly in the slums of Buenos Aires, and advocating for the marginalized. He was known for his humility, his compassion, and his unwavering commitment to serving those on the peripheries of society. His leadership qualities were evident from a young age, and he rose through the ranks of the Jesuit order, eventually becoming the Archbishop of Buenos Aires. In this role, he continued his ministry of service, living simply, traveling by bus, and speaking out against poverty, corruption, and social injustice. It was this humble servant, this compassionate pastor, whom the cardinals chose to lead the Catholic Church into the 21st century. Little did they know that the man they had selected would become one of the most consequential popes in modern history. From the very beginning of his papacy, Pope Francis emphasized the importance of mercy, compassion, and love. He called on Catholics to build bridges, not walls, and to reach out to those on the margins of society. His actions spoke louder than words. He washed the feet of prisoners, embraced people with disabilities, and made it a point to visit refugees and migrants, reminding the world that every human being deserves dignity and respect. Pope Francis challenged the Church to move beyond rigid doctrines and to prioritize the needs of the poor and the marginalized. He called for a church that is a field hospital for the wounded, a place of healing and compassion for all. His message resonated deeply with people around the world, both within and beyond the Catholic Church. He became known as the Pope of Mercy, a compassionate pastor who embodied the love and forgiveness at the heart of the Christian message. Pope Francis inherited a church grappling with internal challenges, including financial scandals, clericalism, and resistance to change. He knew that reforming the church would be a daunting task, but he approached it with characteristic determination and courage. He established a council of cardinals to advise him on reforming the Vatican bureaucracy, known as the Curia. He implemented financial reforms to promote transparency and accountability. He spoke out against clericalism, urging priests and bishops to be servants, not rulers. His reforms were met with resistance from some within the church who preferred the status quo. However, Pope Francis remained steadfast in his commitment to renewal, believing that the church must constantly adapt and evolve to remain relevant and faithful to its mission. He knew that true reform would require a change of heart, a shift from a culture of power and privilege to a culture of service and humility. He challenged the church to rediscover its roots as a community of disciples, called to follow in the footsteps of Jesus. Section 5. A clarion call for climate action, Laudato Si, and environmental stewardship. In 2015, Pope Francis issued his groundbreaking encyclical, Laudato Si, on care for our common home. This landmark document addressed the urgent issue of climate change and called for a global response rooted in environmental stewardship, social justice, and spiritual reflection. The encyclical resonated far beyond the walls of the Vatican. World leaders, scientists, and activists from all faiths and backgrounds praised its message and its call to action. Pope Francis challenged the world to recognize the interconnectedness of all creation and the moral imperative to protect the planet for future generations. He called for a shift away from consumerism and toward sustainable living, urging individuals, communities, and nations to embrace their responsibility to care for the earth. Laudato Si established Pope Francis as a leading moral voice on climate change, inspiring millions around the world to join the fight for a more just and sustainable future. Section 6. Confronting financial scandal, transparency, and accountability. Pope Francis's commitment to reform extended to the Vatican's finances, which had been plagued by scandal and allegations of mismanagement. He knew that restoring trust in the church required transparency, accountability, and a commitment to ethical financial practices. He implemented a series of reforms aimed at cleaning up the Vatican's finances, including establishing a new financial watchdog agency and bringing the Vatican's financial practices in line with international standards. He also removed bishops who had been implicated in financial wrongdoing. His actions sent a clear message that corruption would not be tolerated under his watch. He believed that the Church's credibility depended on its commitment to financial transparency and integrity. Pope Francis's efforts to reform the Vatican's finances were met with resistance from some within the Curia, but he remained steadfast in his determination to ensure that the Church's resources were used responsibly and ethically. Section 7. Engaging the modern world, dialogue and diplomacy. Pope Francis understood the importance of dialogue and diplomacy in a world increasingly divided by conflict and misunderstanding. He reached out to leaders from other faiths and traditions, seeking common ground and promoting peace and understanding. He made history by meeting with the Patriarch of the Russian Orthodox Church, the first such meeting in over 1,000 years. He also met with leaders from other Christian denominations, as well as representatives from Islam, Judaism, and other world religions. Pope Francis believed that dialogue was essential for promoting peace, understanding, and reconciliation. He saw the Catholic Church as having a vital role to play in fostering dialogue between different cultures, religions, and ideologies. His efforts to engage the modern world extended to the realm of international relations. He used his moral authority to advocate for peace, justice, and human rights on the global stage. Section 8. The People's Pope, a legacy of compassion and courage. Pope Francis's papacy has been marked by a profound sense of compassion, humility, and a deep commitment to serving the poor and marginalized. He has challenged the church to be a more welcoming and inclusive community, a place of mercy and hope for all people. He has also shown great courage in confronting difficult issues both within the church and in the world at large. He has not shied away from controversy, speaking out against injustice, inequality, and the abuse of power. His papacy has been a time of both challenge and renewal for the Catholic Church. He has inspired millions with his message of mercy, hope, and love, and he has challenged the Church to live up to its calling to be a force for good in the world. Pope Francis's legacy will likely be debated for years to come, but there is no doubt that he has left an indelible mark on the Church and on the world. Section 9, A Global Inspiration, Pope Francis's Enduring Impact. Pope Francis's influence extends far beyond the walls of the Vatican. He has become a global icon, a symbol of hope, compassion, and moral leadership in a world often characterized by division and uncertainty. His message of mercy, his commitment to social justice, and his call for environmental stewardship have resonated with people of all faiths and backgrounds, inspiring millions to work for a more just and compassionate world. His papacy has been a time of great change and renewal for the Catholic Church, but it has also been a time of profound inspiration for people around the globe. He has reminded us of the power of humility, the importance of service, and the transformative potential of love. Pope Francis's legacy is still being written, but there is no doubt that he will be remembered as one of the most consequential popes in modern history, a leader who challenged the Church and the world to embrace a vision of faith rooted in compassion, justice, and hope.
Él es un hombre humilde y bueno, padre jesuita, justo y austero. Tiene la fuerza y la templanza que Cristo puso en el desierto. Él es tu hermano americano que con María, reina del cielo, traerá esperanzas y bendiciones, toda la paz al mundo entero. Francisco, papa del pueblo, que aclama y lucha por los obreros. Él es Francisco, papa del pueblo, pastor de un rebaño grande como el cielo. Él es nacido en Argentina, creció en Flores, barrio porteño, costumbres simples y fe de hierro para los pobres, es un remedio. Él es tanguero y futbolero, lo emociona su San Lorenzo, pero ahora en el Vaticano está ocupando el lugar de Pedro. Francisco, papa del pueblo, que aclama y lucha por los obreros. Él es Francisco, papa del pueblo, pastor de un rebaño grande como el cielo. Él es Francisco, papa del pueblo, que aclama y lucha por los obreros. Él es Francisco, papa del pueblo, pastor de un rebaño, grande como el cielo.